Hello everyone! New tarot reading. Happy Easter. I hope you're all doing well. I am here to do a little bit of a Easter blessing reading. I did one for my tarot collective, so if you want to see a longer version, a little bit more individual, more specific, hop on to my Patreon. It's linked in the description box down below, but I wanted to do a collective one as well because why not? The energy definitely is interesting. There is like a little bit of a portal here where things are shifting, and I want to see like what does this mean for my tarot collective over here. So let's see. Before I get into it, and I forget because I'm very bad at promoting my stuff, because I feel like I have to keep myself small and I have to hide away, and I feel the tears bubbling up already. There's definitely a release happening here. But yeah, anyways, thank God for the shadows to keep it a little bit hidden. But I just released two Reiki videos you can purchase. We're not even gonna edit this. We're not trying to be perfect here. We're trying to be authentic. So two Reiki videos that you can purchase. I felt called to do this because I felt like people might be interested in that. Instead of booking one-on-one sessions, a little bit of a special video that you can just purchase, download, and just play it whenever you want, how many times you want, and loop it. And I feel like on the long run you just get way more out of it, unless in the future you do want to book a Reiki session, then yeah. But for now, the Reiki videos. So one is timeline based, where you just work around like letting go of the old timeline, locking in the new timeline, feeling comfortable, and be open and receive the blessings and miracles of the new timeline, everything that's held you kind of like back a little bit. And then the other one is manifesting based. This is for everyone that just wants to manifest better and faster, and just without the constant back and forth switching between identities, because it does happen. It sucks. I do it too many times, to the point where I'm like, just stick with it, you know. And you know, a little bit of a help, a little bit of a tool, and just also let go of the old limiting beliefs. Be more trusting within yourself and your capabilities, know exactly what you need to shift, all those good things. And then there's the bundle option for those that just want to purchase both, and then you get a little bit of a discount. So everything is on my Stan store, linked in the description box. If I remember, I will try to put it in the comment section, that way it's just there and accessible. But yeah, thank you so much for letting me promote my stuff, which I need to get better at, but we're doing it, we're practicing, okay? We're doing the stuff. The Saturn return is strong. Okay, two cards flew out. And also I feel like this is for those people that feel like stuff never works out. Like I had, like, with the whole ceiling leaking in the kitchen problem, where like my washing machine was also not working for like 2 weeks almost, and I was like, I do not want to deal with this anymore. Absolutely not. And today, literally, like the Nine of Wands says, persist and resilience. I literally was affirming in between other things, but I was just on a loop affirming that my washing machine works, it drains the water, I fixed it, I can wash my clothes again. Because even though I can ask my neighbor to wash my clothes, I didn't want to be a burden, which again is a problem of mine, feeling like my South Node in Aries being its strongest, where it's like, don't rely on anyone, just do everything yourself. But you know, again, you know, there's only so much clothes I can give her, because she also has only one washing machine, and I have 3 weeks worth of clothing just stacking up, you know. Could I go to the how is it called, laundry automat, and you know, but like, why would I have to pay extra, you know, when I have a washing machine sitting there? But I fixed it, I tried it, it drained the water that was sitting there, it worked completely fine. So again, persisting into what you want. And we have the Death card. Massive transformation happening here. You're being blessed with the timeline upgrade. Yeah, Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck, literally like taking action, just going for it, just cold plunge, basically, kind of like energy. Just like throw yourself in the water and just with no fear. And I feel like this level of bravery is being activated in you. We have 2 more cards. We have the 6 of Swords. Yeah, transition and things shifting. Can you focus? No, it doesn't want to. But we have the 7 of Swords. A little bit of some uncertainty. And kind of like, I don't know how I should go about this. What's gonna happen? You know, you do it even with the doubt, even with like your mind going, and that's why like saturating your mind sometimes is a little bit necessary, because it just keeps you in the story. It just locks it in. It's just like in the brain. It's like, okay, there's no other way for it to be, you know. I remember, I don't know why I feel called to, but I remember the day before my theory, like car theory exam, I already had like done the exam like 2 times, but I didn't pass because when the first time I was definitely a little bit underprepared, because I underestimated like studying in Spanish, especially like car stuff and all that, which is like all sentences and words I don't use on my day-to-day vocabulary, and it was a little bit, yeah. The second time I had the fear again of failing because I failed the first time. Okay, so by the third time I took so much time to actually study, maybe a little bit too much than necessary, which also cost me a lot of money, to be honest. But yeah, anyways, I spent the day before the exam, I did like a 40-minute saturation session, yeah, of saying like I'm gonna pass this. The next morning, literally while eating breakfast and that, I kept saturating my mind. I passed the exam. It was super easy. I knew all the answers. On the way there, because I went alone and the bus ride was an hour and I was a little bit too early, I revised a little bit on the material. I took my booklet with me, kept saturating too. During the exam itself, again, this is why the persistence is very necessary for you guys. During the exam, there were like 5 questions. I did not know the answer. And I had like still 15 minutes to go. And I was like, I could either spiral right now here and be like, I don't know the answers like the last 2 times, and be worrying about like, did I answer correctly? Or I can sit here and saturate and tell myself that I know the exact right answer and then choose the answers. So for each question I took like maybe like I was affirming for like 2 or 3 minutes that I know the exact answer, and then clicked on it. Exited the exam, went to the mall. On the way there, I just kept reaffirming, I passed the exam, stuff like that. Then went on my bus. I don't know anymore how far we went to, but at one point I was still not revising. Why do I keep saying revising? Maybe for certain things, you guys do need to revise certain things in your life. Something happened a specific way and you're like, I don't want this to be the past like this. So you spare the saying, then revise it, change it. You literally have that power. And this is again like your mind is so powerful, and like you're waking up to that, like you're finally realizing it. Anyways, long story short, in the bus I received a message that I passed, and I was like, of course, how else was I supposed? First of all, I was better prepared, you know, in the physical world. I did the studying, did my notes and all those things, but again, like I saturated my mind so hardcore, there was no way that I was not gonna pass, you know. And yeah, so persist on what it is that you want, revise what it is that you didn't like. Literally, your thoughts create and shape. 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You're supposed to create your own security, and also you're supposed to feel secure within yourself. So again, like self-concept has been coming up a lot between like this week, of like have more audacity and just go for it, you know, be brave, be blunt, put yourself out there, be bold. Self-concept upgrades, so important. I don't know, it just keeps coming up everywhere. And my phone also, anytime I open up TikTok or like YouTube, there's always a self-concept video popping up. I know like the microphone is listening, but also again, algorithm energetically speaking. So yeah, the star card. So this could be so many different things for you guys. Some of you definitely are a star. You're meant to shine. I know I have a collective where people in here are supposed to be big. You're supposed to change the world. You're supposed to inspire hope to other people. You know, very artistic collective here as well, where everyone's creative, everyone's doing something, everyone's kind of like creating something, may it be art, may it be music. Literally one of my inner circle members is a musician and a DJ, and that's how she wants to heal the world. And I was like, yes, queen, let me support you. You know, like, you have a healing gift that you're kind of like discovering, is what I'm hearing. Then we have the Lovers. So you need to be more conscious about the choices that you make. Okay, every second, every thought that you have is a decision that you make, where you have to kind of like, where like that choice shapes your reality. Again, like me today, I can choose to be still annoyed at my washing machine for not working, or I can jump from joy like I did a couple of minutes ago that it's finally working again. But it's just like, I decided, I'm sick and tired of not being able to wash my clothes, you know. Also, now that it's getting warmer, I'm gonna, you know, need my summer clothes anyway. So all the clothes that I don't need right now, wash, put away, and like literally spring clean a little bit and all those things. Also, spring cleaning, I heard that you need to purge physically stuff too. I've been this week like, I need to sell some of my clothes, and I was like, should I continue trying on Wallapop, or should I just go over to Vinted and hope for the best, you know? So definitely purge things. There's things that don't resonate with you, and I'm hearing like a style upgrade. Identity shifts in general, like this week, are very strong. So I feel like everyone's first house is getting activated. And I said this in the Patreon as well. If you have very heavy first house placements, if you're like me, where you're a third house stellium, you might have a third house stellium too. But when you have like a stellium in your first house and you have very prominent placements, definitely you need to upgrade your style too, the way you present yourself close. Is your style still accurate to the person that you are, that you want to show up, or do you need to change certain things? Then we have the Page of Swords. You need to also clean up your mind, okay? And I'm feeling inspired here for those that struggle. Get yourself a notebook, and then you make a tally system. I haven't gotten far with mine, okay? But I hope you can read it. I first used this notebook to study languages, then I switched it for my tally, okay? Anytime you interrupt a thought, you write it down. I didn't get far with this one again, because it's so hidden, I forget to actually tick it off. But every single time you interrupt a thought, you train your brain that we don't subscribe to that story anymore. And that's what helps you be consistent a little bit, because then your brain is kind of like searching for the dopamine. It's like, oh, can we get like another like streak? And then it starts to pay more attention. This is for those people that are like, well, I have trouble like shifting my mentality, shifting my mindset and all that. You need to cheat your way through it a little bit, you know, find ways to make, like, how does your brain work? How do you need to train your brain? Sometimes you need to treat your brain like a toddler or a dog that you're training. And then if you accumulated maybe a lot of tallies, get yourself a treat. Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Right now you don't feel very grounded. You feel a little bit all over the place. If you haven't incorporated or integrated the things that were released during the full moon, sit down and do the journaling, do the shadow work prompts, do the breath work, the meditations, whatever it is that you need to do. You're really supposed to be grounded right now, okay? We're building up to the next big astrological placement shifts, whatever you want to call it, on the 16th, okay? It's gonna be like a how can I put it into words so that YouTube is happy. So we have like 6 different placements in Aries sitting on top of each other. Challenge, like literally Chiron is very close to another planet. I don't remember anymore which one. It's gonna be very heavy energy. You need to do the groundwork right now. You need to be grounded as much as possible, because we're humans, you know, we cannot be stone cold. But start working through the emotions. I feel like a very heavy pressure on your chest. So like literally let yourself breathe through the emotions, through your nervous system, all the things. Queen of Cups, okay? Like, nurture yourself, please. I'm still not done with the tarot cards. I'm channeling so much right now, so I feel like this is gonna get a longer reading. Which I'm gonna have to edit a little bit then, I guess. Also, I'm feeling very pulled to the first house. Well, again, yeah, it seems like the first house is very important for you in your birth chart. But 4th house placement, like literally the home life, how you are behind closed door, like how do you ground yourself is basically, I think in the 4th house, you can look that up a little bit, how the best way for you to ground is. Let me throw this super. I wanted to say something right now about the throat and it just left me, so Spirit is probably like, let's leave it for another day. We have the 4 of Swords and then the 7 of Wands. Okay, you're very restless about letting down your defenses. Where you're like, no, I need this to feel safe. And I feel like this is literally because so many things have been coming up that you're like, I don't want to feel anything anymore. This is too much. I don't know how I should even work through this. I cannot deal with another crash out. But if you were not ready for it, then those wounds and emotions wouldn't be coming up right now. So there's no like avoiding it. There's only surrendering the best way possible towards it. And it's literally, again, like the more you ground yourself, the more you prepare. And I say prepare very loosely because you never know which day you're gonna all of a sudden start randomly crying because something triggers you. But the point is that when it happens, you feel it. You just let it be. Don't try to suppress it, right? Because we actually want to open that door to the next chapter, to the next timeline, to whatever is unfolding right now for us. And how else are you supposed to do it if you have, like, I'm seeing like a box and it's just kind of like overflowing and we're supposed to put new things into that box, but like the old things are overflowing and keeping it like kind of like stuck, like the lid is kind of like stuck. That's like how like your brain or your heart feels right now. Oh, we have the Tower. See? I knew it. Oh, very big shift happening. The foundations, the old foundations need to break. Queen of Pentacles. Definitely make sure that you have like a little self-care routine ready, okay? That you can fall back to. You know, when things get too hard and you're like, I don't have the energy because I cried for like 3 hours. Make sure that you have like meal prep done. Make sure that you have a little self-care kit, like a face mask or whatever, or your favorite game ready, your favorite treats, candy, drinks, whatever that gives you happiness a little bit, where you feel like the lesson here is don't abandon yourself when it gets hard. Can you still show up for yourself when you're broken down into pieces? This is especially for my people that always put other people first and you have struggled with doing the same thing for yourself. This is how you teach yourself. No matter how hard it gets, no matter like how much it seems like the circumstance is gonna literally bulldoze through your life, can you still be okay when it happens? Then we have the 8 of Swords and then the Sun. Okay, so basically you have to see that you have been keeping yourself stuck a little bit. Now this is not to blame you, but how can I say this? By not actually seeing the shackles that you put on yourself, by constantly choosing the same story over and over, which is normal. Again, we have the devil and the moon. Kind of like you always give in to the temptation of things staying the same, even though you say like, I want change, I want something different, I want things to move fast, I want to call in this into your life. There's a part of you that's so scared of doing it that you still continue to choose or see and pay attention, celebrate in a way the old story, the things that keep you stuck, you know. And it's usually mindset wise, it's not people or situations, it's just like the mentality of, I don't deserve more money, I don't deserve the love that I want to, other people are more talented than me, stuff like that. Again, you know, if you keep upgrading your self-concept, all those things will just dissolve in general. Okay, actually I want to move on to, where should I put you? To the oracle decks. I feel like we got enough oracle tarot cards, which I saw a new tarot deck, and because this one, the poor thing, is just being used so much, so I'm gonna have to purchase one to have ready for when this one doesn't work anymore. It's my first tarot deck, but yeah, you know, that's also kind of like saying like new beginning. Okay, it's fairies. Let's see. Ooh. We have inform yourself, and I feel like this is literally birth chart. Guys, the amount of times I tell you to look into your birth chart, it's not only because I'm hyper fixated on learning like what's the blueprint of my soul. It literally is a GPS on how to navigate certain lessons. For example, south node and north node, like literally this north node is what you reincarnated into this life to learn. The south node is from your past life. So for me, for example, the acting impulsively, always feeling like I need to control the situations or be again hyper independent, always having to do things on my own because I have south node in Aries. On top of that, in my third house, where I sometimes speak impulsively to feel good in that moment, to, you know, let my feelings out, but then after that I regret it because I have been too harsh, too direct, too fiery in that moment. Meanwhile, my north node is in Libra in the 9th house, so a little bit more harmony, not over giving, being able to receive more, and also a little bit more of a elegance and like communication, where like communicate what it is that I need to, but without the harshness of the Aries energy, you know, which is hard for me. But again, like I'm the moments where I catch myself in like a circumstance wanting to just bulldoze my emotions onto the situation and be like, I feel like this and this and this, and you disappointed me like this and like, but not from a empowered way, but from a hurt way where I wanted to do that and I didn't, because I was like, this is not going to improve the situation, it's going to make it worse. And so like I'm learning that balance there. Again, inform yourself, guys. The answers are literally in your birth chart. Then we have spring. Oh my god, we're not done with the shifts during this spring. I feel like this spring is gonna bring even more shifts, because again, we have here emotional healing. Like we're supposed to heal so much right now, and the heart chakra is the one that's standing out the most, you know, because it's literally the only one with a light. I feel like a lot of us are learning to let go of the walls around our heart. We've been hurt in the past so many times, disappointed so many times. We always had to limit ourselves and play our character down in order not to be too much, so we felt still chosen. and we're unlearning that, and I feel like we're all doing it in this collective here. So the heart chakra is the biggest one for us right now, you know. Also kind of like spring gives me heart chakra energy, I don't know, you know. For example, like summer is for me like literally solar plexus and sacral chakra. Fall is root chakra and third eye, could be a little bit of some crown chakra. And then winter is literally root chakra and crown chakra to me. Third eye is a little bit too, you know. I don't know, that just came to me. I've never thought about it that way. That was like literally a download in the moment. Then we have wedding. So wedding here could be celebration of like literally new things happening, very new beginnings, very big chapters. But also it could be like if you're in a relationship, you're meant to heal all those things to make you ready for your true love to come in. So maybe this is a tiny bit like love reading coded a little bit, but yeah. Or like in general, like celebration, like people coming together. This could also be kind of like for those that have been manifesting their soul tribe. This is literally making space for them, because friendships have been kind of like falling apart a little bit during this since the solar eclipse, but the full moon kind of like highlighted it again. Like certain friendships that were rocky to begin with, if it resonates for some of you as well, where they're kind of like playing, like not playing out correctly, or like there's a pause button right now. And it's because like certain cycles are coming to an end. This is where I'm feeling, where literally it's inviting new people into your life. Okay, High Priestesses. Oh, okay, beautiful card. This is the at any given moment, be graceful and love the monster within you. Okay, then it says also in the transformation, wait, okay, in the moment of the transformation, that's when you realize or recognize a little bit the transformation itself, or like what it is teaching you and what you're supposed to receive from this. Translating in the moment. Oh my god. But yeah, like we're all forced to massively and spiritually glow up in a way, but also kind of prepare for new levels, you know. Like there's big goals for us energetically. We have the dark side of the priestess within you is approaching you. Okay, I'm not gonna translate the other one because it's very like, I hate that, because it's basically saying be watchful and stay on the path of light and white magic, which I hate that black and white thinking. Like there's no such thing. It really depends on like the intention, right? It's basically kind of like saying I'm gonna take my own meaning out of it, and no matter how hard and how bad the crash out is gonna be that's coming up in this release, do not spiral and do not go back into your old habits and old lifestyle and old way of thinking just because it seems tempting. Choose the light here to me means keep choosing the future that you actually want to live. So don't worry about money, don't worry about like the past experiences with relationships especially if you're entering a new one. Keep focusing on what it is that you actually want to experience right now, because you shape your reality with your thoughts. So that's why, like, that's why the self-care routine that I told you earlier, like as a safety blanket in a way, is so important, because it keeps you from wanting to go back to something that's comforting, which was maybe not toxic, but not aligned with you anymore. If that makes sense, let me know. Don't run away from the power within you. This one keeps popping up, and I feel like it's because you guys are just, it's not sticking with you yet. That your thoughts create your reality. That's why you have to be so careful about what you think. The tally system is literally to help you out there of not going back to the old thinking. Well, I wasn't chosen because all my exes always run away as soon as I liked them or showed interest and emotions. You know, I'm just speaking here from my experience and perspective, but you know, it might resonate with someone, you know. Or with the money thing, my family always struggled with money. That's why I need to struggle with money, when you could literally become a millionaire the next month, you know. You never know what's gonna happen, so why choose the old comfort that only brought you misery and suffering, when you can every second, if you can, choose. And even if like sometimes you do go back, don't beat yourself up too much about it, okay? Be like, okay, I'm gonna do better now. The tally system also helps out a little bit here, because it shows you that how many times you were actually able to choose the story that you actually want to experience, you know, instead of being like, oh, I feel like I didn't really change. And also, this is what I also want you to start doing. I channeled that, was it this week, while talking to my friend, like literally start writing down your accomplishments, you know, like when you think differently, my neighbors, when you think differently, when you notice like, oh, this shifted in my mentality, write it down. That's an accomplishment. Oh, I did like I lost so and so many pounds. It's an accomplishment. You need to celebrate every accomplishment, no matter how small, that you did, but you need to celebrate yourself, to show you that you're capable of, to show you that change is not as hard as you claim it to be. Observe your reality too, okay? I've been doing that with journaling, where I just observe certain things, and you have to teach yourself to look in the different direction, in the positive direction of the things growing, of the abundance that you have, instead of the lack that you constantly have. You need to train yourself, because the only one that can do and change your life, my throat chakra is acting up right now, is you. There's no one coming to save you but you. You're the savior, you know. So you need to put that work in. And a lot of people, and here's the thing, one thing I observed too, and it just came to me, and maybe this is something I also need to change about like how I view the collective a little bit here, but I have like a coaching group on my Stand Store, which is the inner circle, where you can get bi-weekly coaching. I had people that in my collective, they came and started coaching, or even like certain things besides the coaching, where they were ready, you know. And here's the thing, where a lot of people fail, and I say it very loosely, is not the beginning part, it's the committing part. Because it's one thing starting, for example, starting the coaching, but then keeping up with it. Because then you're forced to look at yourself, your patterns, the things that you choose in your brain, the way you think. You need to pay attention, and then you start to see like certain people have a little bit more work to do than other people, because everyone's life experience is different. Some people experience more trauma and other people experience no trauma. And certain people get discouraged because you feel like it's so much work, and it is. But the rewards of actually doing and pulling through with it, like the rewards and the blessings, and seeing like literally that you start to live the dream life that you have been envisioning since you were maybe like 10 or 15 or 20, isn't that rewarding to put that work in, no matter what, if it feels like, how I have to put 10 minutes away every single day to journal and say throughout the day, keep up with my thoughts and mindset of like, yeah. But that's where people struggle the most, like literally continuing it and pulling through with it, because getting started is easy. And I say this as someone that has been on this manifesting journey and self-development journey I started in 2020, but I didn't really like seriously get into it until like 2021 with like, you know, shadow work and stuff like that. I didn't start the law of assumption and actually changing a lot in my life with assuming and changing my mindset until 2024. Or technically it started at like the end of 2023, like November-ish or December-ish, but it didn't really like start hitting me until like 2024. And when it really like I grasped the concept of it wasn't until like mid or late 2024. But here's the thing, like I didn't give up. I was like, I'm gonna commit to it. I'm gonna commit to it. And even now, 6 years into my healing journey, this year, okay, since February, so many things have been coming up, like so many multiple things. And I feel like at this point it resonates with a lot of people, so I'm just gonna keep talking. Where there are moments where I think to myself, it's never ending, like how much stuff is still gonna come up. But like again, I have a lot of negative mindsets and beliefs from literally the age, when did I consciously start literally soaking everything up? I think like 7 or 8. And then my teen years were very hard for me because I never got diagnosed, but I was very depressed in my teen years and stuff like that. Trigger warning for everyone else, to the point where I didn't see myself living past age 20. And see, there's still wounds there, but again, like you have to commit to it, you have to pull through with it. And if you feel like I'm never gonna get out of that healing phase, because you're still always gonna keep healing, right? But here's the thing, commit to it. You owe yourself that in a way. And I feel like a lot of people struggle there, like feeling like, I can't put it into words, where you know it's gonna be good, but it's like you don't want to face those wounds and those demons again. But it has to be, like how else are you supposed to move on from it? And like me too, like speaking with it, like processing it on my own is one thing, but like saying it to some people and like literally showing that version of me gives me so much fear and anxiety, because it's allowing you to see a part of me that I didn't cultivate, that I didn't carefully create for you guys, you know, to be perceived. It's literally raw emotion, and my throat chakra is kind of like closing up the more I talk about it. But again, that's like literally that, the healing in this moment that's happening, opening up like that, showing the raw authenticity and the vulnerability that other people need to see right now, so they feel like, okay, I can do it, other people are also doing it, I can commit to myself, you know. But I'm gonna stop talking now because it's starting to hurt. Okay, one card of advice or decision. What's been running through that mind of yours where you're like, I need an answer or help deciding? Okay, we got 2 cards. It's gonna be fun. And then we have try it out. I feel like this is about the healing and about the, it's gonna be fun here. It's not necessarily in the sense of like you're gonna throw confetti and glitter and all that, but once you release those things that are so heavily weighing down on you, you reclaim a part of yourself, you reclaim a part of your power, you reclaim a part of your inner child. And your inner child is the one that allows you to have fun, and just be playful and just live out there, you know. I still am very much proud that I still have my inner child be so alive, no matter like all the things that I went through. I'm so deeply immensely grateful for that, because it allows me to find joy in like the silly little things, you know. Literally I can see a little funny little picture of, I don't know, a goat or something doing something very stupid, and I will laugh my ass off about it, because I still have that childlike joy, and I'm very grateful for it, and I wish you guys can unlock that version of you as well. So yeah, anyways. Ooh, this is a long read. Yeah, I hope this gave you the clarity that you were seeking. And yeah, I don't know at this point what to say anymore. I feel like everything already came out. But yeah, thank you for being on this journey with me. Okay, you can do it. Okay, and if you need support, here I am. I have so many things to help you out. Just let me know what it is that you struggle with, so I can help you out a little bit and guide you. I will see you guys in the next reading. Until then, bye bye.